hands are ashy.
All right, let's do this.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Beleaf Mel.
And we're here with episode 53 of How Married Are You? So we're the Henrys. We're here. We are a family of 6.
Yeah, 6.
4 kids, married 9 years. We have a parent channel called Beleaf in Fatherhood, where we kind of share a little bit of our life.
A lot of it.
I know. I was being facetious, if that's the right word. And so that's who we are.
Yeah, we are officially back. We've been on break for quite some time, and so we post on YouTube on the channel called Beleaf in Fatherhood on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we post on How Married Are You on Thursdays and Fridays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, so because we have that Beleaf in Fatherhood channel, we're gonna do this thing called Chocolate Baby Story Time. So now it's Chocolate Baby Story Time. Okay, and babe, so what is your Chocolate Baby Story Time?
It's kind of sad.
Okay.
So, I've been having a hard time, and I don't know if I can speak for the both of us, but I feel like it's a mutual experience. And maybe some of you guys know how it feels too, but sometimes it's just easier to connect with some kids than it is with your other kids. And right now, I'm finding it hard to connect with Theo as easily as I am able to connect with my other kids and find points of interest and just spend good old quality time with them. And so tonight, so I said all that to say that Theo and I have not necessarily been vibing in a way that I would want to. Like, it's strange, but I kind of blame his like energy. And it's to a certain extent, I'm kind of like, man, you're killing the vibe. Like, he just kind of kills the vibe. And so a lot of the times I'll be like, hey, can you go spend some time in your room until you can get it back together? And so tonight I was in the room with Anaya, and she was having an incident and that I was trying to attend to. And he was in the room with us, and I forgot what exactly he was doing, but I was like, Theo, can you please leave? Like, can you go to your room? And he's like, you're always sending me away. And it broke my heart. It just broke my heart.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. Because I knew he was he was telling the truth. Like, lately, I've been sending him to just readjust his attitude or whatever. And so, I don't know. I'm sharing that Chocolate Baby story time. It's not very exciting, but it's just where we're at right now. Like, I am having troubles here.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm having the best connection with him either.
Yeah.
It's it's like it's got to be on some like soul searching kind of stuff, because right now I can describe each child with one word except for him. You know, and so he's like being disobedient in certain areas and like acting out, and I just feel like whatever I do is not enough, you know what I'm saying? And like even tonight when we were wrestling, playing around, and like he was like, you know, being aggressive toward his sister, so I brought that same energy to him, and he like freaked out, like category like 9, like spaz, and was like started to suffocate and hyperventilate because I was holding his arm. And it was like, we always wrestle, we always play, but Theo's the kind of kid that can dish it but can't take it. Like, he wants to hit you and run, you know what I'm saying, or like sneak attack you from behind and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, if you're gonna cry, just go cry. Don't like wrestle. Like, don't be a part, you know what I'm saying? Like, just watch, you know what I'm saying? But like, don't like try to cry all of a sudden and be like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he's doing a really good job right now at playing the victim. I don't know if you recall, like tonight we were all sitting in the living room, and it turned out that the 5 of us were sitting on the couch and Theo was not sitting on the couch.
And then he goes, we need a bigger couch. And I was like, huh? And then he goes, because we can't all fit on there.
Yeah, we all always fit on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he like does that
Yeah.
a lot. Mm-hmm. And so it's not anything wrong with him. There has to be like an extracurricular pursuance that just isn't happening. Mm-hmm. You know, that we don't have to fight for necessarily with the other kids. Mm-hmm. And it's like we have to take that time.
And it's like never mind. I won't say it out loud.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot right now. And
so pray for us, y'all.
We just got to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's time for words of affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation. You want to tell them?
Words of affirmation is an opportunity for you guys to kind of connect with us and just encourage us in this recording of the podcast. Sometimes it's hard to get to where we are right now in this moment in time. And so when we get to hear from you guys and why you like to listen and what you're getting from our conversations, it really helps us to... Should we close this window?
I think we're fine. There's a little bit of background noise you guys might hear, and that's okay.
Okay.
Because it's hot in here.
Okay. We could bring that fan in. Okay. Yeah. So it's just an opportunity for you guys to kind of encourage us and let us know why you're listening. And it kind of helps also to inform the types of conversations that we have and continue to have. Mm-hmm. And so we just appreciate you guys doing that. You can send us words of affirmation via a voicemail on the Anchor app, or you can, dang it, guys, I'm so sorry that I lack preparation. But you can also send us a voicemail to our Google Voice mail, which is, oh my goodness,
I'm not editing any of this.
Our Google voicemail is 760-335-6643. Again, that's 760-335-6643. You can call that number and leave us a voicemail and tell us some words of affirmation.
Yep.
Or you can also send us a DM on Instagram, where you can record a voice memo there. So sorry for all this fumbling over my words.
All right. And now here are the words of affirmation.
Peace and love, Yvette and Glen. Peace and love, Yvette and Glen. My first message was too long, so I'm going to try and shorten it. But I just wanted to tell you how incredible this podcast is. My name is Saskia. I'm coming from Australia. And I've been following your family for years and years. And I listen to this now podcast every single day. And it's really getting me through right now.
To the beat, y'all, and you don't stop. A freak, y'all, and you don't stop. To the beat, y'all, and you don't stop.
When I hear you speak so honestly and vulnerably about your marriage, your relationship, your parenting, your kids, it's just so inspiring, and it makes me feel like I can get through this, and that, you know, I have hope for a better future, and just to work on myself and who I am. And I just wanted to send you guys some love and tell you that you're doing an amazing job, and just please keep doing what you do. Every day you just bestow gems. So thank you.
All right, so we are back with the podcast now. Thank you for those words of affirmation, but we have big news. We have our first sponsor this week.
Oh, shoot.
Yes. Okay. So we want to shout out the Bible study, which are these cool books right here. We're going to play a little promotion right now. And so shout out to Zach Wendell for sending us these really, really, really dope Bible study books. And so check out this promotion.
Hey guys, Beleaf here from Beleaf in Fatherhood and How Married Are You? And I know you're sitting here like, what is happening to my podcast? But I want to let you know that we finally have our first sponsors for the How Married Are You podcast. And this episode is brought to you by the Bible Study, the easy way to study the Word. Grow deeper in your faith and experience God using the Bible study by Zach Wendell. I met Zach Wendell a few months back. We sat down over breakfast and he told me all about how the Bible study was transforming the lives of people who wanted to know more about God and the Word of God. Finally, you can study the Bible without feeling overwhelmed. What's included? A daily and weekly guide that walks you through the Word, growing you as a Christian and transforming your heart and mind in the process. Also, in-depth questions that help you strengthen your relationship with God, yourself, and others. Colorful and engaging pages to draw you in and create excitement for studying the Bible and connecting with God. Now, this is all hearsay for me because I actually gave my only copy away to a friend of ours, but I'm ordering another one today, getting 10% off using the coupon code HMAY for How Married Are You? That's HMAY.
All right. Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and tell them what topic we're going to be talking about today.
So today we're going to be diving into the topic of Black love. I feel like a lot of times we get DMs, we get comments, we get people kind of like, what's up with this whole hashtag Black love situation? And so we kind of wanted to just talk about it openly so that a lot of times maybe when people hit us up again, we can just send them the link to this video or this conversation.
Yeah. And also, speaking of Black love, a super... I feel like Black love brand that we have worked with in the past and that we are working with now, that you are working with now, is the Rap Life.
Yes.
The Rap.life. If you guys ever see Yvette in those beautiful head wraps, you can check out the Rap.life and use her code, which is Mrs. Melanin.
MRSMELANIN.
Yep.
I will leave it in the show notes as well.
Yeah, so you can get 10% off any wrap. And so, yeah, we really love working with them. They're a beautiful brand. They have amazing, like these silk and cloth wraps, all types of different. I don't even know the fabrics. Yeah. I don't even know the fabrics to be real life. But make sure you check out
yes,
Rap.life and use Mrs. Melanin for your coupon code. But anyway, Black love.
Yes.
You want to start it off, or should I?
I was thinking that I feel like you have more of the historical context of it, like the history of like back in the day in slavery and all that, and I feel like you should kind of start there.
Well, let's talk about why we're actually doing this. So, like Yvette said, we get DMs, we get people commenting, and they're asking, even family, you know, people ask us, you know, what's the difference between Black love and regular love, or why isn't it everybody love? Why is it just Black love? You know what I mean? And before I get into the historical thing, I just kind of want to like talk my talk.
You talk your talk, bro.
All right, so this is gonna be a little aggressive.
Okay.
So to our, you know, people of non-Black descent, mostly the people of Anglo-Saxon descent,
but there are some people of color. I've gotten people that say
people of color for sure, but mostly it's like Christian non-Black people asking, why do we celebrate or why do we exclude other races? And it's just this thing about like some people who don't really understand, they would feel excluded, and it has nothing to do with excluding anything, you know what I mean? But it's just more a celebratory, you know, thing where I feel like, how can I say this in a very polite way? Or should I even try to be polite?
Maybe not. Maybe it's not a place to be politically correct.
Yeah, I think this is, you know, basically what I'm saying is like, I feel like for the first time in history, like white people are feeling how we have felt for the majority of our lives, where we don't actually feel included in anything, but we have accepted your culture as a part of our culture. You know what I mean? But so when we talk about Black love, it feels like we're excluding you, and really it has nothing to do with you. It's just about celebrating us. So when you guys celebrate St. Patrick's Day, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a very like white holiday. You know what I'm saying? That is supposed to be like a religious day, but it's a white holiday.
And we realize all white people aren't Irish.
Right. I'm sorry.
So
forgive me there.
Let me just
I'm just saying, like, it's something that, like, we have brought that into our culture when we celebrate Veterans Day or President's Day or whatever thing it is, you know what I'm saying? Like we're celebrating it as an American culture, but not so much from a Black perspective. So the problem is, like, historically, what has happened is that in order to break down the mental, the mind of someone you're trying to enslave, you had to basically lie to them, you know what I'm saying, and basically deconstruct the systems that were keeping everything healthy. Like family is a system, family is a system. There's a couple get married, you know what I'm saying? Like it's this whole like order and this structure. And so, what the slave owners, or I don't know, the people who enslaved Black, African people, they would sell off the husband, the father of the home, and they would rape the mother, and they would go through this like repeatedly, and so they would break the home apart. They would sell off the kids, and so the African American home was always something that was under attack. And so when you see like so they would rape Black women, they would sell off and kill Black men, they would sell off children. And I feel like since even slavery, times, we have been like kind of like fed this idea that the Black man would leave by his choice, that he would leave his family, and that the woman is this woman who would loosely give herself to anybody else who was promiscuous and wasn't sacred. And so like I feel like these are like symptoms of slavery when we like you see a young Black man look down on dating a young Black woman because she's too dark or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you may not know this if you're outside the culture, but we've been getting taught slavery since we were in middle school. You know what I'm saying? And so the results of slavery is that they would make you feel like your people are slaves. And actually, we don't come from slavery. Like we come from Africa, where we were farmers and librarians, and you know what I'm saying? Like we had regular jobs and lived regular lives. Like we weren't always slaves, and they would make you believe that. Also, like, so it's the deconstruction of the Black family, which is, the ramifications of slavery. It's the media's definition of beauty, which is like, it was just like this one thing on, like, it went viral on social. It was like this image of this woman, and she's I think it was the Princess Catherine or whoever. Whoever the princess is over there in London. Shout out to all my people in the UK.
Forgive us for not being.
I'm not supposed to know. That's not my culture. But like, yeah, like whoever that woman is, it was like, oh my gosh, she's the most beautiful woman in the world, and she has the most perfect face, and she's rated the #1 beautiful woman. It's like, and like, yo, none of the world, like you guys, like white people are a minority as far as the world is concerned. You know what I mean? And so for this person to be considered the most beautiful person in the world, like how could you even say that with not even like giving like nods to all the Black and brown people who exist? And it was another co-worker of the newscaster who was saying this. He was like, man, what are you talking about? Like his just said it all over his face. And so the media would promote this image of beauty that lacks color, that lacks melanin altogether. And so you have all these different things, you know what I mean? Like when historically, when you turn on the TV, like what is promoted on TV, who are our favorite movie stars? What did we grow up watching? Anywhere from Jean-Claude Van Damme, from Steven Seagal, like, you know what I'm saying? Like these were the action heroes, Sylvester Stallone, like, we had Rocky, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we had like Wesley Snipes was the man forever. You know what I mean? Denzel Washington. Like these were our like two black guys in, Morgan Freeman, Sidney Poitier, but like mostly it was all white images. And
I feel like a lot of times when you would see a black man on the television screen in a marriage relationship or even a dating relationship, he was very rarely with a black woman. Like it was always he was in a relationship with a white woman or someone who just was non-black, and so that speaks volumes to someone who is a black woman or a black girl growing up. It's like, man, I don't know, it just kind of was like black men don't date black women or something.
Yeah, or it's like this, it's so minor, like you just barely ever see it. You rarely see it. And so like that's, we had things like BET, which was like, oh, this is us, you know what I mean?
But then that wasn't even, to me, like a really good representation of who we were.
It wasn't. So like now, like the reason why like all these things are like, symptoms of an issue. And so now when we see each other loving each other, it brings like this warmth to us that we haven't got to see in forever.
Such a warmth.
Yeah.
I was even talking to Janice today, and I was like, man, because I was looking just on my suggested, on Instagram, how it has suggested, and I would just see like black couples on there, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why this just makes me feel so happy. I don't know these people, but I love seeing them.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I want you to kind of go in and like, your thoughts, because I'm always talking.
I don't know. I just feel like, okay, so I don't know if my...
You pass my phone.
If my... So, okay. This is just my experience. This is my truth. And I hope that the person that I'm talking about doesn't get offended. They probably don't even listen to the podcast. But I
know who it is.
There was a point, and this is no longer the case, but there was a point when he just wouldn't even mess with black women. And as like a black woman, I'm like, what's that about? And he's like, and he just kind of had this thing about what kind of women black women were. And I just was really offended. And then he would say things like, well, if I met someone like you, then of course I would, date them. And so it's just hearing a black man or black boy at that point, like discount a whole gender of women, I'm sorry, not a whole gender, a whole race of women was just so heartbreaking, And so, I don't know. It just, to know that was a thing it hurt my heart. And I think I want to talk about too, the fact that like, just because, and I think we've kind of talked about this before, but just because like I had a preference for a black man doesn't mean that I wouldn't have been open to dating someone of another race, like allowing love to do its thing. It's not necessarily closing the door on the opportunity to love someone.
Yeah.
But it is just a celebration of culture, or I don't know too, because for me, I think it's also an element of comfortability, where I knew that a black man would understand like what it meant to wrap my hair up at night, or like, the importance of wrapping your hair up at night. And there's just some things that I wouldn't have to explain. And maybe that's laziness, but it is a reason why I chose to be in a relationship with a black man.
Really?
Not just that reason, but the fact that you understand a lot of things. Like, okay, have you seen the movie? Oh, that's probably not a good movie.
Okay.
Something New with Sanaa Lathan.
Goodness gracious.
You never seen that movie?
Absolutely not.
So she's having like, she wanted to date or marry a black man, but she ended up falling for a white man.
Yeah.
And so she like so they're at a point in the movie, like the things didn't work out with the white man, and so she ended up with like the black man, like the ideal businessman. He makes a lot of money, he pays his bill, he has a car, he has a home, whatever. And so there was one scene in the movie where they're sitting at the table, like for dinner or whatever, and they're talking about the whole black tax thing. And so that's just something that they both understood with each other, that she may not have had that same understanding experience with the white man. Like, to know that sometimes people are going to look at you and think something of you automatically. And I know that's true with everybody. Like, we all make assumptions about people, but the kinds of assumptions that are made about black people versus others is kind of, you know, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like this. Like, you grew up in a neighborhood that, you know, maybe have had a lot of issues and problems. You know what I'm saying? So the representation you see is very few and far between. Like, what you hope for, your goals, are few and far between. Like me, right? I lived in, like, you know, Section 8 housing, apartments. There was one mother and father who lived together in, like, probably in, like, out of like 5 buildings. That mother and father was Sydney's parents. You know what I mean? And so they were broke, beyond broke. You know what I mean? So this was the only idea I had saw, like, okay, that is possible. You know what I mean? Like, close to me. And then I saw another one, but it was few and far between. The regular day to day was like mom living in this place or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or grandma living with a bunch of people. It was different. And so for me, I feel like once I started to see it celebrated, it was like, see, y'all lied to me. I knew it was real. It was like hearing a fairy tale, or seeing, like, you know, hearing about you know, Martin and Coretta, you know what I'm saying? Or seeing, like, you know, definitely bad example, but like, you know, Bill and Claire Huxtable, you know what I mean? Or like Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. Like, you see these images and you're like, where is my freaking Aunt Viv? Like, where is my Claire Huxtable? Like, where is she at now? I need to know that this exists out here for real. And when you see it lived out so much on social, you celebrate it. Yeah. So the hashtag is like, thank you. Like, thank you for, like, not being scared to, like, you know, love, like, for showing me that I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's no disrespect to anybody else, and I hate that. And that's why I posted that thing the other day. Basically, I said, someone DM me asking what's the difference between black love and regular love. At first, I was irritated because I get these questions all the time, and I can go on and on about the ramifications of slavery, or the device to deconstruct the black family, or even the perpetuation of what media defines as beauty. But it really doesn't have to be explained. It's not my responsibility to explain something special. And this is the something special that we are explaining today. It's like, this is very valuable for other young black people who don't see, you know, like, our kids aren't going to see a lot of black on black love. Yeah. In like physical form. Yeah. We're probably going to be one of 2, 3, maybe, you know, just because of where we're located, you know, our environment.
Which is why it's important. And like black love, that's another thing I kind of wanted to, but before I do that, I was looking for the comment that really made me want to talk about black love. But this person said, what if white people emphasize their whiteness like this and became exclusive? They would definitely be called racist, and it would bother a lot of people.
And you guys done it for years.
Yeah. But my thing is, it's not something that's exclusive, right? Like,
it is exclusive. It's not excluding.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the hashtag black love is not necessarily something where we're saying you can't have any of this. Because for me, black love, like, I could, if a white person said, like, posted something and they said hashtag black love, like, for me, black love is not just about you and I.
If they say hashtag white love, you mean?
No, listen. So for example, like I feel like our children right now are learning to really love the skin that they're in. And so like for me, Black love isn't just exclusive to you and I being a Black on Black couple. I know that that's a lot of the connotation that is associated with Black love, but Black love is also just loving the skin that you're in that is Black. And a lot of times people don't, like, I feel like we haven't necessarily been conditioned to love the skin that we're in.
Yeah.
And so hashtag Black love is about loving, like just taking pride in that. And so when I say like that, I'm just looking at my kids. Like yesterday, I washed Anaya's hair and blow dried it, right? And okay, by all, just it didn't look that great when after it was blown dry. But she saw herself in the mirror and she was just feeling herself, y'all. But it was a beautiful thing. Like, and I feel like our boys are now starting to have, because there was one point when Raya would be like, I don't like my skin.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was
brown.
because all of their friends, y'all, like literally our closest friends are mostly interracial or non-Black families. And so our kids are literally the darkest of them. And so I feel like sometimes they are like, why do we look different than everyone else? Because it's not necessarily isolated to a family, but it's multiple families that we're associated with, and they all look similar. They're all mixed or non-Black. And so our kids, at one point, I feel like we're starting to wonder, like, what is going on? Why do we look different from all the rest of the kids? And so now it's becoming a thing where they look at themselves in the mirror, like tonight. So we're going to be taking pictures, family pictures soon. And they like got their clothes on because I was just trying out clothes and outfits and seeing how they look together. And they would just go stand in the mirror and just look. They were feeling themselves. Yeah. And it was just a beautiful thing. Yeah. And so I guess the Black on Black love is something where it's like, okay, we're producing more chocolate people. Yeah. I don't know.
And like, it's okay to love yourself.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like, that whole like, what if white people said this? Like, you guys don't have to say it to act like it. Like, everything that you promote is mostly about yourself. You guys just haven't had to care about it until very recently. You haven't had to like realize that, oh shoot, like other people matter until like it's been like blasted on social media when someone does something kind of racist. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it doesn't matter how you feel in this context. If you're going to go ahead and promote white love, then do that. I don't care. I'm too focused on Black love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we care about like, not that we don't care about anybody else, but what we're going to celebrate at this point is like, yo, like, we're going to celebrate this. This is a beautiful thing that we can see ourselves elsewhere, you know, because it's such a rare thing. And it doesn't like, you don't have to worry about it if you're not us. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
And it, sometimes people would just want to feel like they're a part. And it's like, don't be nosy. Like, it's okay for you to mind your business. It's very much okay for you to just be like, man, I'm not a part of that, but that is beautiful. You know, when I hang out with, when I went to London, I hung out with a lot of my friends who are Muslim. They're like, I love the way they love each other and the way they just have so much fun and joy, and they sing songs. It's just like joy, you know what I mean? And I just love it. Now, I'm not over there trying to know the songs and be like, yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, can a Christian brother get a part of this? Like, nah, mind your business. Like, but like, I celebrate that. Yeah. You know, you celebrate things that you're not a part of, and that is okay for you to do. You do not have to be a part of everything. And sometimes, man, I just feel like Christians try to make you feel guilty for not for loving your race.
Very true, because I do feel like it is a lot of believers that are like, well, we all love
we're
Jesus.
all a part of one
Jesus
family.
Love.
Yeah, you weren't saying that when your great grandparents was freaking enslaving us.
Well, technically they weren't alive during that time.
Well, you ain't saying it now. Hello, somebody. Come on now. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's okay for you not to be a part of this, you know, and I'm not going to sit up here and care that you're offended. Like, I don't care. You're upset, and that's okay.
Hashtag no apologies.
Yeah, we're not doing that. You know, we're not apologizing for loving ourselves and being excited to see another black couple doing well, winning, and working through their issues. And, because it just was something we did not see.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have seen it.
But the thing is, too, like, I'm not even going to front. I didn't know how valuable or important it was until Beleaf in Fatherhood. Like, I didn't realize what a unicorn, like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
That's it.
Yeah. Like, how much of a unicorn Black love was, because it is something that I saw in its rare form, like in its, you know, whatever form it was in. But I didn't realize the need for our community of Black people to be able to see a husband and wife who are both Black doing well and know that it's a possibility. Like,
or even doing bad well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What do you say? The proof, not the example.
Yeah, we are the proof, not the example. We're not trying to be like this, like, hey, do it like us. We're just saying we could do it like this. You could do it like, but you could do it. You know what I mean? Because we're doing it. And that was really the defining factor with Beleaf in Fatherhood, because it was like, yo, when I was growing up, anytime one of my friends was about to have a baby, right, super young, it was like, dang, you about to have a kid and your life is over. Your whole life is over. Why are you having a kid? That doesn't make any sense. Sucks for you, man. I hope I don't get nobody pregnant. Like, that was my whole, like, I really thought that and really believed that until I had kids, and I was like, this is actually fire. And I haven't felt alive since. Like before that, I didn't really understand what life was until I had a kid. And so like, I know if I felt like that and all my friends and I were having the same conversations, it's like, nah, you really can be a dad. And like, representation is super important. So I was basically banking on the fact that other people grew up like me and didn't see it.
And, you know, my mom always tells that story of how I've always wanted to be a teacher. And there was one point when I came home and I was like, Mom, I don't think I can be a teacher, because I had never had a Black teacher. Yeah. And so I never thought that. I was like, oh, I guess we just don't do that. And so representation is very important, because it does give hope, and it gives, like, I don't know, it's just hopeful. It provides hope. Yeah. We're hope dealers. No? Okay.
What?
I don't know.
That ain't nothing about our brand. Who told you that?
I don't know.
Where'd you get that from?
I heard it somewhere. I don't know where I heard it. Somebody in the comment section, tell me where I heard that, because I think it's in a movie.
Anyway, I want to know, I want all the people who are offended or whatever, I want you guys to come out of the woodworks in the comment section on YouTube or even on Instagram. Let us know how you feel. Like, I mean, to be honest, I really don't care, but I care for your heart in helping you, like, mind your business through this. Like, I feel like it's part of my responsibility to, like, my friends, to help them understand. You know what I mean? Like, other people I'm not really considering, tripping about, but I know there are some people who really care about us who are kind of like, oh, I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
And I don't get Matlock. You know what I'm saying? I don't get MASH. I don't get
what? I was like, what is Matlock?
Murder, She Wrote. Like,
why are you talking about these movies?
Because these shows, like, they were like the shows that were always on TV. I don't get Geraldo. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff I don't get. I want to know your questions. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your feels about this. And as a matter of fact, maybe even next episode we'll talk about this a little bit deeper. Go ahead and call in on the number we talked about before, and or leave a voice memo in the DMs or
Anchor app.
Yeah, Anchor app or whatever. Babe, how married are you?
Babe, I'm so married. Y'all, the other day I walked into the kitchen and Glen was making the kids fries, and he was putting them into 2 different pans. And I was like, why are you doing that? Why are you dirtying up dishes that don't need to be dirtied up? And he said, I'll wash them. Well, I get to the sink.
Did I wash them?
Still there. When's the last time you washed dishes, babe? Like, come on, did you wash them?
Babe, cut out. You be trying to play me like I don't be out
It's
here.
not that you don't wash dishes at all. I'm just saying, like, you didn't wash them. And so
I don't remember.
I almost, in my head, I was like, I should make this man wash these dishes. But I didn't make him wash the dishes. I washed those dishes. And they are now clean. Put
My
away.
gosh, you be trying to play me on here.
No.
No, because you
This
be
is how
acting like you be
married I
like
am.
no, because you be like, babe, I'm really proud of you for persevering, putting the kid to sleep. It's like I can do that. I know how to do that. It's just easier if you do it. So you do it. But I can do it. She be trying to treat me. She be acting like I'm like one of them. Yeah, you be trying to Homer Simpson me. Yeah, I don't like it.
I do not do that.
You did wash the dish, even though I said I was gonna.
Rather than leave them there for you to wash.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
That was very nice.
Your face says it all.
Mm-hmm.
How married are you?
I'm so married that you, yeah, gave me false information and made me leave the office.
Oh my gosh.
Earlier than I should have left it. And I just went ahead and left the office and did what I had to do. And I was very upset. Even though you were having a rough time.
Y'all.
Sometimes I'm so married that I be answering the phone while I'm at the office. Because sometimes I'll be like, I should answer that. That ain't serious. But you call. No, not you, Siri.
No, wait. I have to say something about that because that's another how married I am. I'm so married that did happen. It was a miscommunication between me and someone else that led me to call him. But then when I realized that was miscommunication, I had her call him back and say,
You should have called.
I couldn't find my phone and I knew I should have called you as quickly as possible. Anyways, then I end up talking to him on the phone when I'm supposed to be on my way to my scheduled me time that I lost an hour of because of whatever. And then he like cops an attitude about how frustrated he is, not knowing what I had just gone through. And I didn't even like flip out on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he probably, that's how married he is too, because he
wanted to flip out on you.
He wanted to flip out on me too. But it's kind of, I feel like it speaks volumes to just how, like sometimes in marriage, and I know I'm going on a trail, but I just had tried to encourage a friend because she was sharing with me some things about, she was sharing in a text about some things that were going on in her marriage and how she needed prayer. And then she like came back and she was like, and I don't want you to think that my husband is such and such and such and such. And I was like, no, I don't think that at all, because I understand that in marriage, like we're both carrying our own burdens that the other person doesn't know, is not necessarily aware of, and how that, like how we carry them or how we're dealing with them is not the same as how the other person is carrying or dealing with them. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a good word.
And so I feel like in that situation, when you were frustrated, when you expressed frustration, I was like, I get it. And I didn't necessarily like go in and say, well, I just blah, 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 because it wasn't necessary, because I knew you were frustrated. I knew you would have been frustrated. But anyways, and that's just how married we are.
Stay black.